Good evening, everyone. We'll be starting our swearing-in ceremony in just a couple of minutes, and we'd ask that everybody please begin to take their seats. I'd like to start by inviting Reverend Donnelly Williams and the Golden Years Society singers to perform for us as we wait to begin this evening's festivities. Thank you very much to Reverend Williams and the Golden Year Society. We do appreciate your performance and for sharing your talents with us this evening. I would now like to invite you to stand for the procession of Council-elect led by Piper Angus Campbell and including representatives from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and the Fort McMurray Fire Department's Honour Guard. I'd also ask that you please remain standing as Hannah Keller, our vocalist, sings our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Campbell, Ms. Keller, RCMP, and our Honor Guard. You may now take your seats. Yeah. Thank you, Matthew. Good evening and welcome to the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo's 2017 to 2021 Council Swearing-In Ceremony and our organizational meeting. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to those of you who are streaming us online from home. My name is Megan Steistel and I will be your Master of Ceremonies this evening. As a matter of housekeeping, I'd like to note that washrooms are located outside the ballroom and down the hall to the left. As well, in the unlikely event of an emergency, please exit the room calmly, take the stairs to the left, and at the bottom of the stairs, your exit is on the right. And then the muster point is in the parking lot. Today we mark the beginning of a new council term. We have a mix of new and familiar names on council. However, all are familiar faces in our community and throughout our region. And all are committed to making the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo an incredible place to call home. Since our elected officials are representatives of our region's communities, this evening is also a celebration of Wood Buffalo. To celebrate, we have some special guests from the community who will say a few words. And it would also be important at this point that I take a moment to acknowledge that we are gathered today on Treaty 8 land, the traditional territory of the Cree, Dene, and Métis people. With that in mind, I would like to invite Elder and former Chief Robert Cree of Fort McMurray First Nation 468 to offer a blessing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank the people that invited me this evening to come and do the invocation for you. It's always a pleasure to come and do the prayers, and I'll be doing it in my language, and if you would all please stand up. I would like everyone to help me out with the blessing in your different denominations, language, and whatever as one. When I do the invocation, I use the tobacco, which has been used for time immemorial from the First Nations. The tobacco that I have in my hand here I will be taking it to the land and offering it to Mother Earth for its blessings and for what she's given us within the Treaty 8 territory here. So I'll get on with the prayer. Ama muhtawi mau. Amina nanas komoya. Kapmoastina moya anotskagi sigak. Quest tapmoapahtama. Shichigiuna. Quest moya. Nam tanichiganna ni hoche. Tapapachita. Natoskiunnan. Kahki omamawi. Tapmatoskatama. Hugumap matsun kahki moestamuya. Hatapang tamagihtoya mamuhtawi mo. Moya nagundahan oskapam tipuatta. Nanas kumoya. Sawimnan. Nisanad may siktamaksya. Auksi nanas kumoya mamuhtawi mo. Hey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Elder Cree. As many of you know, Wood Buffalo is a place of generosity, sharing, and goodwill. An organization that is extensively involved in this community outreach and the care of souls is the Salvation Army. Please join me now in welcoming the Salvation Army's Major Stephen Hibbs to say a few words.
Mayor-elect, Council-elect, good to see you guys. I gotta tell you this. Today we're doing accreditation at our center, and at 12:30 I asked to be excused so I could come out in the van and put a few thoughts together for this evening. So I'm sitting in my car, in my van, clicked on the radio, and I'm thinking, now how can I hear something right now that's going to inspire me, all right? And I'm just sitting there and meditating, and it came on and says, call the bald guy. Timing was everything. Really was. Thank you for the invitation to come and bring greetings from the Salvation Army. For those of you who don't know, the Salvation Army nationally is the largest social organization outside of government, and we are privileged and honored to be serving this community. In the spring of 2018, we'll be celebrating 40 years here, and I think that's an absolute milestone. Scripture tells us that we need to pray for those in authority. On behalf of the Salvation Army, local, provincial, and nationally, please accept our sincerest congratulations on your success in the recent election. Choosing to accept municipal responsibilities and accountabilities is commendable. As you all begin this tenure as leaders of our great municipality, we as the Salvation Army are committing to be your faithful prayer warriors. We have a saying at our church here in Fort McMurray, we've got your back. And that just basically means the person who's saying it is committing this thing to the person who's hearing it. We've got your back. That means every time we remember you, we whisper a prayer for you. We make that commitment. Thank you in advance for the sacrifice that you're going to give. Some have already given. As together we build a stronger, quoting your words, sir, stronger tomorrow. We've got your back, indeed. Together we will make a brighter tomorrow for all of those who come under our sphere of influence. Together we will build lives and we will build strong community. So our commitment to you folk tonight is, ladies and gentlemen, the Salvation Army has got your back. God bless you. We'll be with you.
Thank you, Major Hibbs. One of the great strengths of Wood Buffalo is our many different cultural and faith communities. It's something we take pride in and adds a vibrancy and energy to our region. Among those active groups is our Muslim community. I would like to now invite Imam Murad of the Markaz al-Islam Muslim congregation to offer his greetings.
Hello everyone. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I have a few words I want to share with you. Of course, my name, that's going to come up. My name is Abdurrahman Murad. I am the Imam of Markaz al-Islam, as you heard. Markaz al-Islam is the Islamic society in Fort McMurray. It's well integrated with almost every service in the community. We've taken part in integral roles, helping out, being there for the community. And just want to say that before I came to Fort McMurray, I'm from Vancouver, and all I heard about this city was that it's very cold and it's a work city. When I came, I realized that it was indeed very cold. And in terms of it being a work city, not so much. We all felt the warmth of this community when we came. No matter how cold it got, the warmth of the community kept us warm. It indeed is a family-oriented environment. I know, because I had my second daughter here. It's truly an amazing environment. And its sense of community is amazing. I think there's no evidence beyond what we saw after the fires. Coming together, being there for each other, it was simply amazing. Now we're back here in Fort McMurray, and our commitment to this city is to make it better than it was before. Every one of us. When we look at our newly elected mayor and the council members, we don't look at them as being the only ones who will bear the duty of making the city better than it was before, but rather that they have key roles, but every one of us likewise has an integral role to play to make this community the best it can be. So our collective strength is what makes a city strong. Now I stand before you representing my Muslim community here in Fort McMurray, and I want to convey our support to all of you, our mayor, now council members, and everyone else who's helping out, that we're here and we'll be with each other to make this place the best it can be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Imam Murad. It's no secret that we have a young population here with many young families. Our schools are busy and our youth are active contributors to our community. One active group is the Mayor's Advisory Council on Youth, or McCoy. Please join me in welcoming McCoy member Dhruv Patel to offer a few of his remarks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dhruv Patel, and I'm honored to be here today to speak about youth in our community. In the past, the Mayor and Council have continuously supported the youth of this region, and I know that we will establish the same connection with our new leaders. We are given many opportunities to have a voice in the community, such as McCoy, the Mayor's Advisory Council on Youth, through which we've made an impact on issues in the community and practice youth voice in our region. This city has been a great place for aspiring young minds to grow, develop, and unlock their potential, and I'm confident that we will continue to get the same support to grow further and stronger. Along with facilitating young minds, Fort McMurray is also a very diverse community, and as a part of a cultural society myself, it's amazing to see our mayor and members of the council come out and support our different cultural events. They have shown tremendous effort to support the inclusiveness in our region and take a part in our diversity. I would like to thank the mayor and council for providing me the opportunity to speak tonight, and I look forward to the future with our new leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. And thank you to all of our guests. Your participation in the swearing-in ceremony is a great way to showcase the many committed, passionate, and active members of our community. At this time, we will now have the swearing-in of council. I would like to invite to the podium His Honor Judge Jakes, who will administer the oath of office. We will begin with Mayor-elect Scott's oath of office and acceptance of the chain of office and continue with his council colleagues.
Hey, I will call upon Mayor-elect Scott then, please. Now, Bible. Thank you. Take the Bible in your right hand and repeat after me. I, Don Scott,
I, Don Scott,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently, faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law the office of mayor for the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo. So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, if you'd be so good as to sign there. Thank you. Okay, I will commission this. You have one more thing to sign, which is adhering to the Code of Ethics. Can I give this to you? Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. I will now call, oh yes, of course, the chain of office. How could I have forgotten? That lies down the center here. Let's invest you with the chain. There we go. Excellent. Congratulations. Okay, I will now call upon Councillor-elect Mike Elan. Okay, Mr. Elan, repeat after me, please. Yes, and if you would take the Bible. I, Mike Elan, do hereby swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to law the office of Councillor for the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo. So help me God. Thank you. I will ask you to sign there. I will sign here. And if you would sign also the ethical code. Thank you very much. Congratulations. I will now call upon Cristobal Sim, Councillor-elect Prince Cristobal Sim. She has the special Bible. Oh, you got your own Bible? Good. Okay, if you would repeat after me, please. I, Cristobal Sim,
I, Cristobal Sim,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, if I could ask you to, I'll hold your Bible for a second if you wish. There. Sign where you sign. And if you could also sign the ethical code. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now call on Councillor-elect Bruce Inglis. The swearing Bible. There we go. Repeat after me. I, Bruce Inglis,
I, Bruce Ingles,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Congratulations. And if you'd be so good as to sign right there. I will sign here. And if you would also sign right there on the Code of Ethics. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. I'll sit the Bible back. Thank you. I will now call upon Councillor-elect Sheila Lalonde. Okay, if you will repeat after me. I, Sheila Lalonde. You must certainly have the Bible. Thank you. I, Sheila Lalonde.
I, Sheila Lalonde,
Do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Now, if you could sign there. And also there. And I will just sign that. Congratulations. Thank you. I will now call on Councillor-elect Keith McGrath. Okay. Repeat after me, if you would, please. I, Keith McGrath,
I, Keith McGrath,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. If you would be so good as to sign there. Also there. I will commission this document. Congratulations. Pardon me. I will now call on Councillor-elect Phil Marr. If you'd repeat after me, please. I, Phil Marr,
I, Phil Marr,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. If you'd be so good as to sign there and then there. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations. I will now call upon Councillor-elect Verna Murphy. If you'd repeat after me. I, Verna Murphy,
I, Verna Murphy,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So, if you'd be so good as to sign there and there. There. Congratulations. I now call upon Councillor-elect Jeff Peddle. If you'd repeat after me, please. I, Jeff Peddle,
I, Jeff Peddle,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
There we are. If you'd be so good as to sign there and then there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I now call upon Councillor-elect Jane Stroud. Yes. If you would repeat after me. I, Jane Stroud,
I, Jane Stroud,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully,
faithfully,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Now, if you'd be so good as to sign there and there. And right, that one in the corner. Oh, quite right.
Move all your paperwork on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I will now call upon Councillor-elect Clarice Voyager. Good. Now, if you would repeat after me. I, Clarice Voyager,
I, Clarice Voyager,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will diligently,
that I will diligently,
faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of Councillor
the office of Councillor
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
for the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. If you'd be so good as to sign there and there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the whole council. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you your 2017 to 2021 Council. At this point, Mayor and Councillors will have the opportunity to address their family, friends, and supporters who are here with us this evening or streaming us online. To begin, I would like to invite Mayor Scott to the podium.
Thanks so much. One of the things that I've certainly learned in my political journey is that you don't accomplish anything by yourself. And when I look down this line at all these tremendous people, I feel like I'm truly blessed. This is going to be a fantastic council. So I'd like to say good evening, council colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to begin by recognizing that we are on Treaty 8 territory and on the traditional lands of the Cree, Dene, and Métis people. I don't typically ever read a speech. It's been a long time since I ever would even consider that, but there's a lot of people to thank, and I don't want to miss anybody tonight, so I'm going to stick to the script for a change. I'd like to take a moment and thank everybody who's in attendance and acknowledge those who made this evening possible. Evenings like this don't come together naturally. It takes a lot of hard work. And I think all my council colleagues and I saw how many people pulled this together. And for all those that worked so hard, thank you so very much. I'd like to thank Reverend Donnelly Williams with the Golden Year Society and that tremendous singing that you heard at the beginning. Angus Campbell for leading our procession. He has a great story about the song that he led us in with, and my recollection is it was called Fort McMurray Strong. So if you ever get a chance to talk to him about that, please do. I want to thank the Fort McMurray Fire Department Honor Guard. And the RCMP who accompanied us coming in. Soloist Hannah Keller. And Elder Robert Cree, thank you so much for that blessing. Thank you. And our guest speakers who were tremendous, thank you so much. We had Major Stephen Hibbs. We had the Imam, Murad. And we had Dhruv Patel. I've known Judge Jakes in many environments. Usually I'm standing before him. Tonight it was a wholly different environment. And Judge Jakes, I just wanted to thank you for your participation. And the RRC staff, that's the staff who make this facility what it is and make this event possible. So thank you so much to all of them. And the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo staff, we need to thank you in many, many ways, but thank you so much for tonight and for organizing this event. I'm honored to stand here tonight as your new mayor, and I'm excited about the team that residents have chosen to serve as a new council for the coming term. I'm personally committed to serving the residents as a mayor who listens to the concerns and ideas, who works collaboratively with stakeholders, and believes in open, honest, and transparent communication. Above all, I want to lead a team that is focused on achieving results for residents. My vision, and I believe it is shared by the new members of this council, is to simply get things done for the people of Wood Buffalo. My goal is for the council of the 2017-21 term to be a council of action. I have a long list of people that I want to thank tonight, but I want to begin with all those who have supported me in getting here tonight. My parents, who are from New Brunswick, when they found out that I was elected last week, we were trying to figure out how to get them here. And I think they felt like I was becoming the Prime Minister tonight. So they're seated in the front row. Thank you all so much for your guidance over the years. They came a long way and arrived at 10 a.m. this morning just in time. I want to thank my family. My wife Janie and my children, Jay and Jenna, are here, and my mother-in-law is here. Without their support, these things would not be possible. So thank you so very much. There were a lot of supporters who helped me during the campaign, and many of you are out there. Thank you so very much. People can run for office, but without the help of many others, it is not possible to achieve success. So for all of you out there who were behind all the people on the stage, or even those who weren't successful, thank you for participating in the political process and helping to make democracy thrive. Thank you so very much. And I want to thank all the voters. We had voter percentage that was slightly up this year, which I'm grateful for. We're always going to try to do better, but I'm just glad that we got people to the polls and that people were excited about voting. I heard that there were big lineups, and that's something we're going to need to address going forward. But for all those who took the time to vote and cast their vote, it's something that's so fundamental to democracy. Thank you so very much on behalf of all of my colleagues and all those who ran. I didn't have the chance to spot the previous mayor tonight, but I want to thank my predecessor, Melissa Blake, for her leadership and legacy. I hope she is out there among you somewhere. I just don't... Oh, there she is. She's waving. She's on the far left. Thank you, Melissa, for leading us through tremendous growth, an economic downturn, natural disaster and recovery. In 4 terms as mayor, she championed infrastructure, including highway, bridges, schools, the building that you're in, and McDonald Island, which is really the jewel of this community, innovation, sustainable waste management initiatives, diversity, joining the Canadian Coalition of Municipalities Against Racism and Discrimination, and the creation of a council-appointed Regional Advisory Committee on Inclusion, Diversity, and Equality. Thank you so much for your leadership, Melissa Blake. And as I've said, a mayor doesn't achieve things alone. So to all those who've served on a past council, including those who might be here among us tonight, who served previously, thank you so very much for your leadership in this region and for your public service during some of the most trying times and at a crucial point in our history. So thank you all to those who served on the last term and those terms before that. I'd like to thank CIO Annette Antoniak, who is here among us, for your hard work and leadership. I look forward to working together as we go forward. I'd like to thank municipal staff for the warm welcome during my transmission to the mayor's office. It took them a while to figure out that I didn't even know where the light switch was, and I'm grateful for them guiding me through the entire process. I want to recognize your vitally important work throughout the recovery. I want to thank our firefighters and first responders for all that you have done for this community and for all that you do for this region. During the election, I had the opportunity to speak to many of our Indigenous peoples, and I want to thank all of our Indigenous peoples, our First Nations, and our Métis groups. Thank you for your openness and support. As mayor, I want to continue to develop my relationships with you and our communities. I'm here to listen to your ideas and concerns, and I truly want to understand your perspectives. Thank you to our seniors for helping to make this region what it is today. I want you to have the opportunity to enjoy your retirement, however you choose to do it, right here at home in Wood Buffalo. And my thanks as well to our local social profit sector. In many ways, you are the heart and soul of this community. You give so much to our region, offering not only support and services, but a sense of connection to the residents across Wood Buffalo. Thank you so very much. To our local businesses, thank you for your tireless commitment to our region. I'm excited to work with the Chamber of Commerce in developing strategies that support the success of local business. I'd also like to thank our industry partners. You are a deeply important part of this community. Your support and efforts from the first moments of the evacuation throughout the fire and recovery have not gone unnoticed. As mayor, I look forward to working closely with industry and to showcase the potential and opportunity of this region as we seek to retain and attract residents. Finally, I'd like to sincerely thank residents for your resilience, for embracing change, and for the incredible support that you've shown. In closing, I want to thank you for the honor of serving as your mayor. Wood Buffalo is my home. It's where I bought my first house, started my business, and had my children. As your mayor, I want to instill confidence not just in government, but in our entire region. I am optimistic that by building relationships and taking decisive action, together we will face every challenge and thrive. I am eager to get to work for you, and in fact, we've had several meetings already with the new council. We really have a council that I believe is committed to being champions for this region. Together with Council, I'm committed to working hard to make this region an even better place to call home for the residents of today and tomorrow. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. I would now like to introduce Ward 2 Councillor Bruce Ingalls.
Thank you, everyone. I have the daunting chore of following that very eloquent speech from our newly elected mayor. Thanks for that, Don. Good evening, Mayor Scott, my fellow councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Glenade, Danse, welcome, bonjour. These are common languages heard in my region. On a daily basis, you will hear those words spoken, and they are words of welcome. I'm humbled and honored by the trust given to me by my friends, my neighbors, the communities of Fort Chipewyan, Fort Mackay, and Fort Fitzgerald. I'd like to point out that Ward 2 had one of the largest voter turnouts in our history. Approximately 55%, which in this day and age is quite remarkable anywhere in the country. This speaks volumes to the health of our democracy. It also reflects the interested and engaged citizens we have. Thank you, everyone who participated. I'd like to thank the residents for their support I especially want to thank my wife, Florence Cyprian, who is here in the audience tonight. She is my spouse, partner, and friend. And she has supported me through this challenge. And also, sometimes when my head gets a little bigger than it needs to be, she brings me back to reality. And I gratefully thank her for that. Once again, I thank you for your support and look forward to getting started. I'm proud to call Fort Chipewyan home, and I look forward to serving the people of my community, Ward 2 and the Wood Buffalo region, as a councillor. Thank you. Merci Cho. Merci. Thanks again.
Thank you, Councillor Ingalls. And now I'd like to call on Councillor Keith McGrath for his remarks.
Thank you, Megan. Thanks for everybody for coming. And, while I'm getting ready, I know Marty Giles is looking at me saying, "McGrath, where'd you get the tie?" Anybody knows me, I think it's the second time I wore a tie. Fernand Murphy and her friends challenged me one night to a council meeting to wear a tie, so this is the second one. But actually, this is Chief Bougier's tie. He's over in Chile right now, and I promised him I'll have it back to him before Christmas. So thanks, Chief Bougier. Good evening, everyone. To my fellow neighbours and friends, and all those in attendance and watching this evening. After 30 years of calling this great place home, I'm truly humbled and honoured to be chosen by the residents of our community to return to council. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Many of you know this has been a long journey for me in many ways. After setting what is no doubt a record for close and not so close defeats in elections and by-elections, all of a sudden I'm on a winning streak. In all seriousness, there's no greater calling to public service, and I'm looking forward to continue to work on your behalf to make our home an even better place to live. I want to thank all those that voted in this year's election, whether it was for me or another candidate, and to my friends, supporters, and volunteers. I can't thank you enough for all you did to continue our journey together. We live in a world where democracy and free expression is precious, and we can take it for granted. I want to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge my family, especially my wife, Teresa. Without her and the support of my children, they're all here right here. It wouldn't be here, none of this would be possible. And also acknowledge my wife's sister, Bonnie, and Alan. Thanks for coming up from Red Deer. And Alan, just a side note, works for a company called Apex. Chief Bougier opened up his camps to the north. My brother-in-law head up the highway in Lac La Biche. And many people know our whoosh operators were taking people down the highway, and Alan had a camp set up. So when the bus drivers reached Lac La Biche, Alan met them, fed them, washed their clothes, and some of the bus drivers are here tonight, and here he is again tonight, supporting you again, so thanks, Alan. When I reflected on the last 4 years, I can't help but think of my mother as well. As many of you know, she passed away shortly into the wildfire. Not a day goes by that I'm not driven for her love and the example she provided me. To my employer, for the continued support of our community and time to serve, and to John Singleton for coaching me along the way and believing anything is possible. To our new Mayor Scott, to my council colleagues, on those days when you'd had just about enough of me, I can promise it could be worse. If it wasn't for my mother's example to draw on, there'd be no telling how it could be. I know well that she's with me in spirit tonight, and for that I am truly blessed. And of course, Counsel is family as well. I'm saddened to say goodbye around the horseshoe to Mayor Melissa Blake and Councillors Lance Bouzier, Tyron Alt, Shellen Germain, Julie Cardinal, Colleen Taylor, and Alan Vinnie. I was honoured to work with these community-minded individuals, but I know you'll find others another way, and maybe even better, ways to serve our residents wherever life takes them. To all of you, thank you for everything you did to make our community. You'll be surely missed. To our new representatives, from Mayor Scott to our new councillors Jeff, Krista, Mike, Verna, Bruce, and Sheila, I look forward to work with all of you as we take steps to better our community. To Clears, Phil, and Jane, you know the drill, welcome back. We saw some serious headwinds over the last 4 years. From a serious economic downturn to reduced oil prices to facing the costliest natural disaster in Canadian history, with the strength and resilience, I know we've learned a lot from our Indigenous elders, seniors, and our residents. They're always there to give us the right perspective and to keep our eyes on what matters most, family and community. The next 4 years will bring challenges, issues, and opportunities, and I'm dedicated to working with my colleagues, our residents, and stakeholders, and municipal administration to fulfilling my election commitments. And I'm just as interested in ensuring we find ways to collaborate and listen and learn from each other. We won't always agree on everything, but I will come to the table with the idea that our families, friends, neighbors come first. We are truly giving it our best shot, and there are many things we can do together to do what's right for our bosses. That's you, all of our residents. And I just want to draw back my first job here in Fort McMurray. I was laying sod out in front of the seniors' home downtown, and now I think it's called the Golden Year Society. It's the only place in McMurray you can get lunch if you're a member for $8 on a Wednesday or $12 if you're not. But those citizens have supported me in many ways, and I'm always grateful that I go to the guys on the hill on Friday mornings at A&W and have a cup of coffee, and they always keep me straight. And then I go to the senior center when I can on Wednesdays, and the ladies, they keep me straight as well. But it warmed me up a little bit when Joan Ferber called. She said, "Keith, I hate to do this. You're not allowed here to make your announcement, but I pulled a few strings, and we're going to let you in one day." So, Joan and the senior citizens, I have you to thank tonight because my first campaign was in 1997. I bought an old $500 truck off Syncrude, painted it flat black, saved up for 3 signs, run a bunch of flyers on my photocopier at work. I had to tell the boss the day after the ink ran dry what I'd done. But it's been a journey, and I've made my share of mistakes, you bet. But one thing I've learned from the last term, I've learned a lot, and I'm glad you reinvested me because I can guarantee you that I won't get sued the first 3 months of serve office. I won't always think that, some things happen at City Hall overnight, because they don't. I'm not out to change the world, but I can tell you that anytime you pick up the phone, you write me an email, send me a text, I'll be there. I can say that I'm not on Facebook every day. I'm the kind of guy that'd rather be in your face than on Facebook. Because we all have dark days, and I believe this community more than ever needs to stick together. And I believe that it didn't matter if you lost your home or you lost something in the wildfire. What we did gain, though, is a lot of respect for people that helped us out. And I believe that this community has a lot of healing to do. And, if we need lots of mental health supports, and I believe that people are still striving to look for help. And you know what? I want to thank Jamie Dahl and his group. And I know I see Marty here, Kim Jenkins, people that stepped forward and became on the recovery committee, because I can tell you, going to High River and Slave Lake on Canada Day in 2016 and getting first-hand experience to bring back the sufferings they had, we done a lot of things right. And even though people might not think it was fast enough, we stood the community back on their feet, not just mayor and council, but the community as a whole. And I think we're better off for it, and we're going to come back out the back end a lot better for it. And you know what? This council is not not the people that make all the decisions at the end of the day, because I believe you're going to get more engaged, and we're going to work with the big stakeholders. We have reconciliation to work on, and I think we're all headed in the right direction. And if somebody told me I was going to get re-elected last Sunday night, I took off for a couple of days. I took off. I said to my wife, I got to go away. I got to go to work. And you're leaving on election day? You bet. Because I didn't want to pull any old hanks I pulled years ago, you know. If some reporter asks you, for example, how's the election going? Good. It might be a horse's arse or two. And then all of a sudden the next day in the front page of the Evan Sun, you call everybody a horse's arse. Well, you know, you never. But that's the way it goes. That's the way politics goes. And as long as you got your family and friends, like, you know, Ramona, I see a lot of you guys out there tonight. You know, Mike from the EVP, we raised millions of dollars for good profits. That's what this community is based on. And I look around, I see lots of people and lots of candidates that weren't failed. And I can tell you that you never win your first election. Some people do, and I see a few people do up on the table, but they're pretty lucky, because I know I never. I'm the only guy at the table that's celebrating 20 years of campaigning. But anyways, good to have a laugh, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. God bless you all. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, Councillor McGrath. Now I'd like to call on Councillor Jeff Peddle from Ward 1 to provide a few remarks.
My speech will be 15 seconds because Keith took all the Newfoundland time. Thank you, Keith. So, folks, I can't express how grateful and humbled I am to be standing before everybody tonight. First and foremost, I guess my beautiful wife, who's been by my side the whole time, in my rock. She knocked on thousands of doors with me. She attended every event with me. So to that, I'm truly appreciative of that. For my son and my family, who stood by my side, and to many of my brothers out in the audience, thank you very much for your support. Many people believed in me and knocked on doors, put up signs, and supported me along the way. I always pushed like I was in last place, so to come second to Phil, that was a great honor, my friend. To be elected by my peers in our municipal council is a true honor that I certainly don't take lightly. I want to thank all the religious leaders that are here today that certainly supported me with their prayers and support, and that certainly meant a lot, and that got me to where I am today. All the multicultural communities who gave me a check mark on voting day, thank you very much. We are the most, multicultural community, and to me, that's one of our biggest assets that we can learn from each other, so I'm certainly appreciative of that. I tell everyone, for me, running for council, it started many years ago by giving back, by being Rotarian of the Year, Business Person Volunteer of the Year. This just didn't happen. When I started my campaign 5 months ago, I really started 20 years ago by being a certain person in our society. So to me, I was, when I ran, I was certainly blessed to have the community behind me with their votes and their prayers. I'm a man of integrity, morals, and passion, who's certainly going to work hard for you and get things done. I want to make this the most incredible place to live in Canada, and we can do it, but again, it takes everybody's support. I want to thank all the candidates to put their names on the ballot up front. It certainly took a lot for people to run, and a lot of time and effort, so for that I'm very grateful. For the men and women on stage here today and our new mayor, I feel really humble and blessed, and certainly to serve with you. There's certainly a lot of challenges that lie before us, but to me, we can make a difference when everybody works together. To me, Fort McMurray is a totally different to me. It's about business. The open sign is on. We're open for business today. So we're open for business, and we want to do business with Fort McMurray, with developers and people to revitalize our city. Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Folks, let's get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Peddle. And now I'd like to invite Councillor Jane Stroud from Ward 4 to provide a few remarks.
Thank you, Megan. First off, I'd like to give a big thank you to the residents, family, and friends that came out this evening for the swearing-in ceremony. It is an honor to share this with you. I am both proud and humbled, to have once again been elected to represent the constituents of Ward 4, which includes Gregoire Lake Estates, Anzac, John Bay, and Conklin. I remain committed to achieving the priorities and objectives identified by these communities. Living in the rural for nearly 2 decades and listening to the residents has made me aware of the needs to make our communities safe, sustainable, and healthy. With the support of Council, we have moved forward core essential services, which include piped water and sewer, emergency services, and health and wellness facilities. We have made good progress, and I will continue to keep this momentum going. I look forward to the day when each person in this municipality, rural and urban, can enjoy the same quality of life with the services we deserve. Over the last few years, committees have been formed, which includes the Rural Coalition that support all rural priorities. And there have always been community associations within Ward 4 which promote cohesion and sustainability for each hamlet. I want to give a big thank you to these communities, committees, and groups who support each other and me. Your support enables me to be an effective and influential councillor. Mayor and council represent the region as a whole, and I'm committed to working collaboratively with all my council colleagues. It is important to remember that we are here to serve our residents who elect us to these offices. We need to ensure that all residents' concerns are heard, and we do our best to follow up on each and every one. An important objective to me in this term is working towards council and administration being more open and transparent. It strengthens the trust in our democracy and engages our residents. We made strides in the last term by having committees which were open to the public and where council members could ask questions of administration that were relevant to residents. We must keep these avenues open and explore other ideas that build the trust of our residents that they so rightly deserve. Another important objective to me in this term is collaborating more effectively with the province and industry. We need to work together to move the region forward and meet the challenges and opportunities before us. Let's continue our community conversations and dialogue and make a more sustainable region. Once again, thank you for your support. I look forward to working with and for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stroud. Now I'd like to call Verna Murphy, Councillor Verna Murphy from Ward 1, to provide a few remarks.
Thanks for coming, everyone, tonight to share this special evening. Thank you to our guest speakers and distinguished guests. If you told me 12 years ago that I'd be standing up here being sworn in as councillor tonight, I probably would have laughed and dismissed you. And even tonight, I'm still kind of in a bit of a fog. It's just a tremendous pleasure and honor. I want to thank first and foremost my family. My husband, Tim, has been right beside me through thick and thin for 25 years now. And I'm sure for the next 4 years, he'll continue to be my biggest supporter. To my children, Mitchell, Nathaniel, and Shailene, you're my greatest blessings. Thank you for your support through the campaign, all those missed suppers and late Russian hours, but also for putting up with me for all my council talk over the last number of years. Without all of your support, I would not be standing here tonight. And Shailene, now you're not going to be forced to watch council nights on Tuesdays anymore. Your wish came true. Jesse and Ramona are also here tonight, and I really want to tell you how much I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me, not just over the campaign, but especially in the last 2 or 3 years. I want to say thank you to my team, to all who took a sign, made a donation, and of course, those who went and voted. I got to give a special shout out to everybody in Cape Breton tonight that's watching online, to my mom and dad, and my mother and father-in-law, and all my family who are watching back home. I'm so blessed to have you in my life. I'm lucky enough tonight that both my sisters, Vanessa and Virginia, are here to join me for this special night. And I also want to say happy anniversary to Cliff and Mary May, my parents-in-law, who are celebrating their 48th wedding anniversary today. I have to give special thanks to my friends Brooke and Kevin. Your many nights of encouragement around the kitchen table made me believe that this was achievable. The many times that you helped with Shailene or the campaign helped make it all happen as well. Your deep faith and belief in me means more to me than you will ever know. And a special thanks also to Vaughn. Even though I didn't always take his advice, I still did appreciate it. Your depth of knowledge of everything political and of our region was such a valuable asset to me, not just during the campaign, but in the last number of years as I learned more about Fort McMurray. Thank you to all of my friends and family. There's so many that I just can't list them all specifically, but thank you from the bottom of my heart. I also want to thank those that put their name forward and ran in this election. Everyone ran a great campaign, and they definitely made me work that much harder. I know that the ones that didn't win a seat will continue to make tremendous contributions to our region through all the work that they do every single day. A few weeks ago, I said that the best titles that came to me were from my association with others. Wife, mom, daughter. These are all the titles that I hold in the highest esteem. And now you, the voters within Ward 1, have made me councillor. Like those other titles mentioned, I will honor this role and your decision to the best of my abilities. To Mayor Scott and my fellow councillors, congratulations. I look forward to working with you all in the next 4 years, and I'm now so excited to get to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Now if we could ask Councillor Mike Allen from Ward 1 to come forward.
Thank you, Megan. You know, we had a former senior administrator that we used to work with, and he had a sign on his desk that said, "Be bright, be brief, and be gone." So I'm going to try and do that, although I can't necessarily say it's going to be bright, but it will be brief, and I'm not going anywhere. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, elders, special guests, and in particular my new colleagues in this 2017 Council. Well, this has really been an exciting month, and unquestionably one of the more intense job interview processes that I've ever been engaged in. You know, I've lived in Fort McMurray for 24 years now, and I haven't gone anywhere, and yet for the last week I've just been walking around with a big smile on my face going, it's good to be back. The voter turnout did appear to be relatively low at 22%, but I think it's interesting to note that it was a success, as it was the highest number of votes ever cast in a municipal election. And this could be attributed to several factors, but I think really we need to thank our local media, both radio and print media, for a very strong and balanced coverage of all of the issues that was going on through all of the campaigns. As well, the social media that played a big part, both on Twitter and Facebook. The Construction Association also brought the initiative out with Your Community, Your Voice, and of course we had the usual candidate interviews with the usual forums. In short, it led to more emails, more questions, and more public engagement, which in itself is an achievement. Today, I think the public is the biggest winner, as we also had probably the strongest group of qualified candidates that I've seen in a very long time. We heard a lot from citizens, stakeholders, and community groups. issues surrounding Bills 21 and 8, downtown revitalization, rural infrastructure, and of course, get her done right, and get her done right now. Well, the candidates also had a very common theme about building an effective team. Well, we heard a lot as well about a desire for change. Ladies and gentlemen, the voting public spoke definitively. And before you is the change that was being sought, and I don't think we could have had a better result. I'm excited about the possibilities as we move forward in this next phase of our rebuilding. I'd like to thank so many people, of course, in my team, everyone who helped me, in particular Dan Sorensen and Debbie Hahn, with Speed Pro Signs, Dave and Kathy Wallace, and Steve Audie, my contributors and supporters for your tremendous efforts and your friendship. I'd also like to thank those that had the confidence in me to allow me the privilege to serve yet again. I thank you, and from the bottom of my heart, it's truly an honor to be here. To everyone else that didn't put an X next to my box, well, I pledge to work very hard in the next 4-year term and hope to earn your trust. As well, thanks to all of those who served on the previous council. It is a thankless job at times. Whether we agree on issues or not, the desire to serve and do the right thing was still top of mind with all of our members of council. To those who stepped forward to enter the race, your efforts were exemplary, and I would have been proud to work with any one of you. As well, I'd like to give special mention to Mayor Melissa Blake. And in the past, I just thought about it. In the 19 years that she served this region, I had the pleasure and the honor of working with her in different capacities for over 13 years. And I can tell you firsthand that she was one of the not only the biggest cheerleader for this region, but the biggest ambassador known across the country, and probably the most respected leader and the most respected mayor in this country. I'm proud to call her my friend. She was my mentor. And Melissa, I wish you and your family all the happiness as you get to finally spend some time enjoying your new renovations in your home, which is right here in Fort McMurray, and your boys. And last but certainly not least, to my partner, my coach, my cheerleader, my fiance, and my love. Denise, thank you for allowing me, encouraging me, and in fact, pushing me to run again and to be who I am. It is because of you that I stand here today. Thank you. You know, it's been said that if serving is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. It is my honor to return to service with this dynamic team before you and help to make this region all that it can be. Let's get her done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Allen. Now I'd like to call on Councillor Clarice Voyageur from Ward 2.
Promise mine will be short and sweet. Good evening, Mayor Scott, councillors, guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to begin by thanking voters in Ward 2 for their continued support and for giving me the opportunity to serve on council on their behalf. I am truly humbled by the support I have received. I am honored to serve my community, and I am excited to be a part of the team that will help our region over the next 4 years. I would like to take a moment to thank my family and friends for their encouragement and support, especially my grandson Kai. Every day was, "Go, Mama, go." I also want to extend my sincere appreciation to my campaign team. Julia, she did a lot of work. While I was attending funerals, she was out there campaigning daily. Thank you, Julia. In closing, I look forward to working with Mayor Scott and my fellow councillors in the years ahead and serving the people of Ward 2 to the best of my abilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Voyageur. Next, I'd like to call on Councillor Cristobal Sim from Ward 1.
Thank you, Megan. It is truly an honor to be standing here today before you as your newly elected Ward 1 councillor. This moment truly represents a journey. It's a journey of a lot of life experiences and the opportunities that have given me this chance to enter public office. There are so many people I'd like to thank along this journey. And first of all, to my mom, Pauline, who's sitting over there. You're always by my side, supporting me whenever I need it. To my dad, Vaughn, thanks for being here last week to support me. To my incredible parents-in-law, Rick and Beverly Cumbie, who I'm sure are watching this at home right now in Newfoundland. Yeah, Newfoundland's getting more minutes. Sorry, Keith, you didn't take them all. To my stepfather, Desmond, I also say thank you for the years you've given me. To my baby brother, Joshua, who isn't here tonight, but I know is watching online right now, you make me proud every day to be your sister, and I have a feeling he's going to end up running for office someday too in BC. To my grandparents, my pop Balsam, Robert, my grandmother Elizabeth, both of your hard work has taught me my work ethic, perseverance, and your selflessness. To my deceased grandparents, Hilda Blanche and Andrew James, I am so proud to know that you've helped me become the person that I am today. I had a very large campaign team and a lot of friends that showed their support for me, and I couldn't have done it without you. I can't thank you all, but just a few special mentions. Ben Kinnett and Mike Janssens, my cousin Shauna, who's here tonight, Greg DeHaan, Seville, Steve, Spencer, Carrie, Jay, Dan, Sherry, Joanne, Hakoon, Denise, the entire entertainment team from Friday Night Live last weekend. Your efforts in the arts and culture community are truly incredible. Trevor, Sultan, and every single person, and many of you are here tonight that put up a lawn sign, who volunteered, who donated, and that got out and voted. There are far too many, but you know you've made a difference, and you are all super valued and appreciated by me. Lastly, but certainly not least, from a thank you perspective, I want to thank my stepchildren, Madison and Jaden, and my husband, Jason. Running for public office, as everyone on this stage and those who also ran or have already served understands that it doesn't affect your own life, it affects your families. And I also know that you're making a sacrifice for our community, and for that I'm grateful. I love you both very much, and I'm so happy you're here tonight by my side. To the residents of the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo, thank you for your confidence and faith in me. Whether you voted for me or not, I want you to know that I'm here to serve you and to work as hard as possible on behalf of you to make the best decisions. We aren't sure of all the challenges that will be put in front of us over the next 4 years. I'm sure the past council and Mayor Blake did not anticipate the challenges they were faced with over the last 4 years. But I promise to do my best to meet those needs and challenges with tenacity, transparency, and the true desire to do what's best for our region. I would like to thank our outgoing Mayor, Melissa Blake, who I believe about 7 years joked that I would be running for council someday, and I laughed at her, but I guess you were right, so thank you for your leadership and mentorship over the years. Your dedication and service to our region will not be forgotten. We're standing in a building that you championed, and I'm honored that we're here today taking this oath in front of all of you right here. You steered the ship through very rough waters, and we should all be thankful. To the rest of the candidates who put their name on the ballot during this election, many of you who are here tonight, your bravery is what democracy is all about, putting your fate into the hands of the people, and I'm honored to have been in this race with you. To the people on this stage with me tonight, we have a big task ahead of us, but one I know we can manage. Let's work together with grace, honor, and respect, as I know we all can. It will be a privilege to serve with you. We need to collaborate and engage, not just with ourselves, but with others. We need to work with our industry partners. We need to work with the Indigenous peoples of all of our region. We need to work with the first responders who ensure our public safety. We need to work with the social profit community that take care of those in need. We need to work with arts and culture that make our community vibrant and bright. We need to work with the LGBTQ community and make sure we're giving them the support and showing them our pride in them. We need to work with our multicultural communities, our faith communities, and the leaders found within them to make our community more inclusive. And we need to work with the business community to foster economic development, and our rural coalition that will make sure we're bringing our entire region together. It is important that we also support our local media and their efforts to be the cornerstone of democracy. It is your jobs, and I'm asking you to hold us all accountable, as I know you all will. Every citizen of our region is truly important, and we need to listen and we need to engage, and I call upon all of us to do that, just that, and work together to do it. Thank you again for McMurray and the whole municipality. I look forward to the next 4 years and the bright and stronger future I'm certain we'll have together. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Balsam. Now I'd like to call on Councillor Phil Marr from Ward 1.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I won't be as long as Keith. I promise you that. But people said, you know, how can you get excited about this? And I said, you know, it's of course it's a gain, but I have a dog, and my dog has shown me how to get excited. He just starts wagging his tail. And ladies and gentlemen, if I was a dog, I'd be wagging my tail pretty fast. So I am excited about this term, and some people say, well, you know, what happened over the last 22 and a half years, Phil? What have you done? Well, I grew older. I became a grandparent while doing some of the things that I really love to do in this municipality, and it's been great. And then they asked me what I look forward to, and I look forward to, well, one thing, my 500th council meeting will happen this term. I look forward to turning 60. Which is, you know, I guess a privilege denied many in our land, but certainly I think I've been blessed by the good Lord to have a long life and to be blessed to be on council. And some of the people I've served with, I've learned more from them than they've learned from me, believe me. Councillor Murphy and I went for coffee, and she certainly got me revitalized because she was, you know, running for her first term here, and it was the excitement that she showed certainly rubbed off and kept us all going, no matter how long you've been in office. And there's always challenges, and the challenges, you know, I'm not going to go over them again, but they lie ahead, and they will be tough. I start every day at about 4:45 in the morning, and I read the Bible, and then I read the newspaper because I want to know what both sides are up to. And it seems to get my day off on a good go. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention two people that I've spent the last 19 years on council with, and of course that's Sheldon Germain and Mayor Blake. Mayor Blake, 2 terms as a councillor, and of course 4 terms as mayor. And when Mayor Blake became mayor back in 2004, we had this little card that we have, and I found it. Not that I keep everything, but it was called Council Team Values, and you'll remember this, Madam Mayor. I still call you Madam Mayor, you know, I always will. And it was, we have fun, we respect team members, we are open-minded, we practice active listening, we are issue-oriented and accept consensus, we add value to discussions. Yeah, it's two-sided. We practice civilized disagreements, Keith. We treat each other as we would like to be treated, and believe me, Keith gives me it just as good as I give him. We do not personalize issues. We seek to inform and understand. We hold each other accountable to our values. And you know, those values back then I think really apply as well through all the terms that you know, I had with Madam Mayor and Sheldon. And I keep it because I really like those. Have we always followed them? Not quite, but we try. Ladies and gentlemen, I can promise you that I will give my all again to council for the next 4 years. It's because they've changed. Last term was 4 years, and 4 years is quite a while, and a lot of things can happen. But we certainly look forward. I'm encouraged by the people who showed up here tonight. I know I see Dave back there, Dave Wallace, I see Ramona. These are the people, and Pastor Parmit here in the front, and so many others that care about Fort McMurray, and I just thank you for being here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to thank Adrian Larkin, who helped me with my campaign. We were out taking signs down while the results came in, and you know, when the results are good, taking down signs isn't so bad. But I've always lived by this motto. It was from Nadia Comaneci, and if some of you remember her, in 1976, she won or had the first perfect score in gymnastics. And it's up on my wall, and it's been on my wall in my office ever since I started working with the public school system. And there's a quote underneath Nadia as she's doing a handstand splits on the balance beam. The first apparatus, she got a 10 on it. And underneath it, it says, "Don't pray for an easy life. Pray to be a strong person." So those pastors and people who said they were going to pray for us, just pray for us to be a strong council and work together. Thank you so much. And lastly, I almost forgot you, hun, because the last time you came to one of these was 1995. So I really appreciate you being tonight, and that's my wife, Sherry. Thank you.
"500 council meetings. I can't imagine." Thank you, Councillor Marr. Next, we'll move on to Councillor Sheetal Elan from Ward 3, and that will be our final. Those will be our final remarks.
Wow, you guys are all really good talkers. Anyways, thank you, Megan. Can't believe I'm just standing here as a newly elected councillor. And mine is going to be really short and sweet. Thanks to my family and friends for the encouragement to run for government. Special thanks to my husband, Larry, for his support, and my sons, Christopher and Jonathan, and my daughter-in-law, Brittany. Love you all. Thanks to my campaign team for the donations and helping keep my signs standing, especially on those windy days. And finally, thanks to the residents of Sapperate Creek and Draper for allowing me to put signs on their lawns and for getting out to vote. I'll do my best to represent both communities, hopefully with honesty and integrity. And thank you for everybody for coming out here tonight. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Lalonde. That concludes the formal portion of this swearing-in ceremony. We're now going to transition into a short organizational meeting, followed by a light reception. And I'm now going to turn the floor over to your mayor, Don Scott.
Thank you very much. This is going to be a very brief meeting, so don't be disillusioned if you're worried that we're going to have a lengthy one. And then we're all going to be eating after. So thank you all so very much. I will now call the organizational meeting to order. Our first order of business today is the adoption of the agenda. Can I have a member of council make a motion to that effect, please? Go ahead, Councillor Voyageur.
I move that the agenda be adopted as presented.
Thank you. I will call for a vote on this item. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is carried unanimously. Thank you. We have one report before us for consideration which contains 4 recommendations. Can I have someone put forward a recommendation number 1, please? Go ahead, Councillor Balson.
I move that the proposed 2017-2018 council representation on boards and committees, as outlined on attachment 1 for the period October 25th, 2017 to the 2018 organizational meeting, be approved.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments before we call the vote on this recommendation? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? That motion is carried unanimously. Can I have someone put forward recommendation number 2? Go ahead, Councillor Marr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Oh, sorry, Mr. Mayor. I move that the proposed duty and acting mayor assignments as outlined in attachment 2 for the period November 1st, 2017 to October 31st, 2018 be approved as presented.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments before we call the vote on this recommendation? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? That motion is carried unanimously. Can I have someone put forward a recommendation number 3? Go ahead, Councillor Stroud.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. I move that regular council meetings be held at 6 p.m. in the Jubilee Centre Council Chamber on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month, with the exception of any statutory holidays and scheduled recess periods. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments before we call the vote on this recommendation? Seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? That motion is carried unanimously. As all business items have been concluded, the meeting is now adjourned, and so ends the formal portion of this evening. I'd like to thank you all again for attending. Please feel free to stay and enjoy the reception in Ballroom D, which is right next door. And on behalf of your new council, thank you all so very much for coming tonight. We are all very grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your new council.